What's up, YouTube? It's your boy John from Project Ellsworth. Over the last week and a half or so, I've gone to a whole bunch of Dollar Tree locations trying to grab up every $1 horror movie that I could get my hands on that I don't already have. And as I always do, I figured I would shoot this video and show you guys what I found. You can see way too much of me in this new phone. As always, I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe. All right, so the first movie I picked up, I actually already own. Two of these movies I already own, but I got them on Blu-ray now. The first one is Sushi Girl. Had this on standard definition DVD. I believe I bought it at Big Lots for either $3.95 or $2.95. I think that this is, I've heard that this is a really good movie. I heard that Marc Hamill's really awesome in this and that he steals the show. I know Tony Todd's in it. One of these days I'm going to get to it and check it out. Sushi Girl. The other one I got was George Romero's Survival of the Dead. And it was lovely that they had the tape over top of the paper. The paper was stuck up above. I guess I can't complain too much. It was $1. Survival of the Dead. I had this on DVD. Now I have it on Blu-ray. All right, next up, a movie called Salvation. Vinny Venata is a con artist devoid of any sense of morality. He survives by deceiving people until one day spiritual payback enters his life in the form of two people. Daniel, a man of God with some dark secrets in his past, and Marlene, a downtrodden woman with an uncertain future. The collision of the three souls combusts into a struggle over their lives and their eternal salvation. So, whatever. I don't know. I don't recognize anybody in here. I'll get to it eventually. All right, next up. I'm stammering for something. It's early. Pardon me. Next up is something called The Crescent, which is actually 3 movies. This also includes a movie called Hindsight and a movie called Memory. 3 movies for $1, can't beat it. Cool slipcover. All right, next up, something called Scare B&B. How long has B&B been a thing? I don't remember. I don't think that I've been hearing that term or acronym for too many years. I know bed and breakfast has been around forever, but the acronym B&B, always got to shorten things up. When a young girl books a room online, things soon turn sinister. Her brother investigates after she goes missing and finds that hidden cameras were nestled all around her rental property. He discovers a dark web network was streaming her every move He discovers a dark web network was streaming her every move to the internet. It's my first day with my new mouth. When his sister was found murdered, he knows he must avenge her death. Jesus God. That's actually pretty cool. I like hidden camera movies like that. So it should be pretty neat. Whatever. All right. Here's another one that I don't know how you could ever see this title and see this image and not think of Slender Man. Selfie Man. Sounds really dumb, but I'm very curious. Creepiest spine-tingliest flick. Julia, an online vlogger from Germany, comes to the U.S. to visit her cousin Hannah. Upon her arrival, Julia falls fatefully ill, prompting Hannah's suspicion of the strange and sudden illness. When unusual happenings start taking place in her home, Hannah begins a relentless internet search to discover the cause. She comes across Julia's vlog entries and finds herself immersed deep in the web, too deep, in a place where terror knows no end. I don't know, Selfie Man? That doesn't even sound like it applies. Vlogging is definitely far different than taking selfies. And whatever. Hope it's good. Next up, Truth or Dare. Something tells me I already have this. Dare the truth or dare... Do the dare or dare does you. Do the dare or the dare does you. I don't know why I can't talk today. I'm having problems. And I got to go to work, too. It's no good. Getting my second COVID shot today, too. I'm not reading all that. It's way too much. If you want to read it, focus, pause it, and read it without the light. Well, that's not you. Whatever. Not reading all that. Next up, a Shudder original called Gwen. I saw somebody online, I think it was Sean C. Phillips, his YouTube channel is called Cool Duder. I think he was the one that I saw say that Shudder original films were going to start trickling into Dollar Tree stores. This is the only one I've seen. Undeniably powerful. Gwen is a young girl whose life seems to be collapsing around her. Struggling with her mother's mysterious illness, her father's absence, and a group of angry villagers threatening to take her farm. Angry villagers. This is obviously set in the past. I don't think we deal with that anymore. Well, kind of. Threatening to take her farm, Gwen must find the strength to guide her family through the darkness. But as a malevolent presence begins to take grip of her home, it becomes apparent that there is a greater evil that may be too strong to overcome. I don't know. This has definitely got to be set in the past. It's to some degree. I can't imagine that they made a current day film about angry villagers. Reminds me of Resident Evil 4. My shirt is hanging over there, just scared the hell out of me. I thought somebody was standing in here. That's good. Next up is another 3-film set, 12 feet deep. And on this comes The Long Swim and Keepsake. Don't feel like reading all that either. So I would have to assume that 12 feet deep is about, you can tell on the back, it's got something to do with a swimming pool. Don't feel like reading it. Not reading it. Next up, something called Karma. What Goes Around. Yep, that's exactly what Karma is. Now that's the kind of stuff I like to read. Short and sweet. When recent college graduate Manny has trouble making ends meet and takes a job evicting delinquent tenants, he soon finds himself at odds with a karma demon that stalks him at every turn. A karma demon. All right. One has to assume that that would be the karma demon, or just a real messy guy that he's getting ready to evict. Whatever. Here's one that I have no doubt whatsoever that I'm never going to watch. Toxic Crusaders. But I like trauma films. I like the Toxic Avenger, but I really don't like cartoons. And the only reason I bought this is I thought it was cool that I saw this in Dollar Tree. A trauma film in Dollar Tree for $1. So, there it is. Never going to watch it. I'll throw it on the shelf in my trauma collection. Next up, Alien Invasion. After receiving a package containing a mysterious documentary, Sarah Hamilton, a young journalist and UFO investigator, takes a trip to one of the biggest UFO cover-up sites in history. And it's there that she meets Joe, the park ranger, whose job is to guide her around the forest whilst I hate that word, whilst protecting her from all the dangerous predators in the forest. The unexpected interruption by one of the strange beings that lives in the forest forces them to that word's changed. Forces them to change their plans, leading to a macabre game of cat and mouse that will take them deep into hell itself. Let me see something. Protecting them against dangerous predators in the forest. An uninterruption by one of the strange beings that... So, it's a strange being that lives in the forest, or it's dangerous predators that live in the forest, or are they one and the same? Whatever. So this guy's like a forest ranger for aliens? Is that... maybe I'm just misreading that. Or maybe my brain ain't working because it's too early. Next up is The Wildling. When I first looked at that, I thought that said Wilding, but it made me think of Nick Cannon, but it does not. It says Wildling. Do I want to read all that? That could be a lot of word tripping. Room meets the beast within. Have you ever seen the movie Room? It's pretty good. A teenage girl's coming of age arrives with a terrifying twist in this spellbinding take on a werewolf legend. Since birth, Anna has been raised in isolation by a man she knows only as Daddy, portrayed by Brad Dourif. He has done everything possible to conceal the truth about her origins from her. But when the teenage Anna is suddenly thrust into the real world under the protection of no-nonsense police officer Ellen, portrayed by Liv Tyler, it soon becomes clear that she is far from ordinary. Unable to adjust to normal life, Anna finds herself drawn instead to the wild freedom. And Jesus God. Anna finds herself drawn instead to the wild freedom of the forest while struggling to resist the growing bloodlust that has awakened inside of her. This moodily atmospheric thriller combines supernatural scares with a myth-like tale of self-discovery. That's 2 movies in a row that take place. So we got a werewolf in the woods and we got aliens in the woods. Good stuff. Next up, Prey. I already have a movie. Don't close your eyes. I already have a movie that I know I bought at Dollar Tree called Prey, but I'm also positive that the artwork or the cover art was different than this. So I don't know if this is the same movie, and that writing's way too small for my beat up eyes. Not reading it. Death Comes from the Shadows. From Image Nation, Hyde Park, and Blumhouse Productions. Not reading it. Writing's too small, it's way too early. Next up is a film called Temple. Almost passed it by until I saw that right there. That caught my eye just as I was getting ready to put it down and not buy it. From the writer of Your Next and Blair Witch and the executive producer of The Ring trilogy. Some places should remain hidden. 3 American tourists follow a mysterious map deep into the jungles of Japan searching for an ancient temple. When spirits entrap them, their adventure quickly becomes a horrific nightmare. A horrific nightmare. I put an S on there like that's Jason from Horrific Nightmares channel. But becomes a horrific nightmare. So that sounds pretty cool. I like temple movies like that. I was a big fan of the movie called The Ruins. And I also liked the movie The Pyramid. Both of those are pretty good. So hopefully that follows suit. The Pyramid and The Ruins were very different movies. All right, and next up is a Scream Factory release of a film called Fender Bender. This one has alternate artwork. That was the original cover, if you can see it. But I like that one more. I think that looks more Scream Factory-ish. So that's the one I put in there. Let's see. This one's also got way too much writing, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway because this is the last one. There are no accidents. He stalks the streets, remorseless, brutal, bloodthirsty. When his prey is at its most vulnerable, he appears. And when night falls and all is quiet, he strikes. Prepare for the next driving force in horror, Fender Bender. Bold. 17-year-old Hillary has just received her driver's license. There's a D on that word. Her driver's license, only to have her first accident shortly thereafter. Innocently exchanging her personal information with a remorseful stranger behind the wheel, Hillary returns home for a quiet evening with friends. But when the man whom she so readily handed all of her information reveals himself to be something much darker and sinister than she could imagine, Hillary finds herself in a head-on collision with terror. Terrible line that is. From writer-director Marc Pavia, Stephen King's The Night Flyer, Fender Bender is an intense crash-and-slash thriller that brings you back to a time when the boxes on the shelf at your local video store beckoned you with masked, knife-wielding maniacs and a twisted sense of morals. That's actually exactly what that reminded me of. Was like an old-school videotape cover. I don't know if how many of you are actually old enough. Well, my demographics, for the most part, is about my age. So most of you probably remember not just like the VHS covers, but the like oversized VHS. Most VHS covers are the size of the VHS tape. There were other older covers that were taller as well as more broad. I don't know so much deeper, but broader than the cassette was. And the artwork on those things, that's exactly what I think of that old artwork, and most of the time I think of like the old zombie gross Italian zombie movies. But that's exactly what the cover of Fender Bender reminds me of. All right, that's it. I'm done. I'm getting out of here. If you guys like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If the hell is that? Please give me a thumbs up. If you really like this video and you've been enjoying my content up to this point, please do me a huge personal favor. Click that subscribe button and ring that bell. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Have a kick-ass day. And thank you for watching. Later, folks. Have a fantastic day.